Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Chelmsford High School Music Department's production of Barnum. We would like to ask all of you to please turn your signal watches, speakers, and cellular phones to off position for those comfort of those around you, and also to refrain from flash photography as it engages the performers. We regret the omission from our program of our sound engineers, Mr. David Garcia and Mr. Tom Peterson. We acknowledge their contribution to the show. We would also like to acknowledge the contribution of All Saints Church and of our elephant trainers, Andy Doney and Dan Sylvia. Now it's a great honor and pleasure of the cast and crews of Barnum to introduce to you the three students who are in the leadership positions of this year's program. First of all, our student conductor, Miss Jennifer Dahl. Our student director, also participating in the cast, Mr. Steve Phillips. And finally, the lady who organized marketing, tickets, and all the business aspects of the program, our student producer, Miss Jen Medeiros. Ladies and gentlemen, Barnum.
Barnum's the name. P.T. Barnum. And I want to tell you that tonight on the stage you are going to see bar none. It recites wonder and miracles that name stands for, including Jumbo, the largest elephant in the world, the great white whale from Monitor, General Tom Thumb, only 25 inches from toe to crown, Joyce Heth, the oldest woman in the world and the rarest, most beautiful bird in captivity, Swedish Night. Plus a company of hundreds. Let's make that thousands. Where? Plus marching bands, standing bands, tumbling bands, flying bands, bands of every size, shape, and description. And here they are. Oh, I know what you're thinking. You don't see any Swedish nightingales or 25-inch men or flying bands up there, but like I told you, Barnum's the name. And miracles are my means. And they're all up there, mark my words. Excuse me, where are you going?
Home.
But I've got a point of view to expound, defending the noble heart of humbug.
Which I happen to be in disagreement with, as it is no more than a shoddy defensive flim-flam, so it doesn't behoove me to stick around.
Respect for the speaker, madame, requires you to listen while he sets forth his convictions.
And respect for my own convictions requires me to set forth, which I am doing.
Then go. Isolated dissent is hardly going to deter me. One small voice can quite easily be ignored.
Good day, Mr. Barnum.
Of course, it doesn't help that one small voice happens to be the man's wife. Sherry, I'll have a kiss before you leave.
With pleasure, Mr. Barnum. But you are beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the main ring, the fight to the finish struggle of humbug versus truth, flim-flam versus fact, Mr. Phineas Taylor Barnum versus his good wife, Cherry, an American pageant featuring stirring music, thrilling spectacle, hilarious clowns, and savage jungle beasts. Presenting first, Mr. Barnum himself in an opening bit of philosophic folderol. Mr. Barnum!
Fact is, all right's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Give her up a mess of artifacts and she's happy as a clam. Serve her up a bit of fancy, she turns up her nose and she's yesterday's fist. But whether you end up picking up on some lesson or others, she's still gonna fight. Why? Because every 60 seconds in this world, a delightful phenomenon of inflation absolutely guarantees it. There is a sucker born every minute. Each time that second hand spins to the top like dandelion, something pop, there is so big, your eyes so wide, and the left feet of bona fide baloney with no teeth in it. Why, you can bet I'll find some room to buy my corn. Cause there's a sure as shooting sucker born a minute, and I'm referring to the minute you were born. Each blessed hour brings 60 of them. Each time that wooden fool shows his face, another sucker takes his place, walks his border on the line to find my brand of genuine malarkey. God bless all of them, but don't be sad or nothing matter cause a scene. Cause there's a sure shooting sucker born a minute, but ma'am, you might have been a minute in between. If I allow that right here in my hand, the smallest living human man, the sight of that is surely worth a dime. If I present an educated pooch who's trained to dance the oochie cooch, what better way to waste a bit of time? If I import a monumental cost, a lady fair whose head was lost while crossing railroad tracks to fix some zinnias, who eats farina through a hose and wears big tights instead of clothes, if that ain't what the fuck, my name ain't Phineas. Oh, you say that's hogwash? Well, who cares? To buy my hogwash as long as there's a sucker on every minute. Each time that second hand spins through the top like dandelion, something pop, your ears so big, the rice so wide. No, my tail is bona fide baloney. Just let me spin it. And ain't no man who can resist me, wait and see. Cause there's a shooting sucker born a minute. And friends, the biggest one, excluding none,
course, that was when our country was a pup. Today, alas, it's growing up, and we ain't got no suckers anymore.
I'll prove it to you. If I was to tell you that I got a real live mermaid back there, how many of you would pay 25 cents to see it?
Maybe one?
Two at the most. The rest of you are so well educated that you just don't believe in such foolishness as half woman, half fish. So you're not suckers. And you're missing a hell of a lot, because there happens to be one right behind that curtain. But now I'll be damned if I was going to show her to you.
I don't think she's yet, Wally, so why don't you tell her to put on that mini blouse I got for her? I don't want you to get all wrought up when you open the wine.
Sit down, you! Oh, now that you hear that Mademoiselle Neptune's got no blouse on, that gets you off your seat. Well, it happens to be the mystical joining of earth and ocean. That's the miracle, sir. Not her uncovered bosoms. Pearly, pink, and voluptuous though they may be.
Here it is in Mr. Webster's dictionary, Taylor. Humbug. Something designed to deceive or mislead.
Well, that's what comes of marrying a school teacher. You go right to the books. Jeremy, I'm talking about rosy possibilities. The kind of humbugs that the pilgrims sold themselves when they set sail on the Mayflower. The dream, Jerry.
Mr. Webster gives a nice synonym for humbug, too, Taylor. Lies. Now, don't give up yet. The evening's young. You've still got some rosy possibilities.
In the near ring, humble beginnings, as Mr. Barnum makes his first appearance in the main tent, turning old into gold, faster than you can say, George Washington.
They came by the thousands in Philadelphia, Mr. Barnum. Here's all the papers you'll be needing. Birth certificate, bill of sale, written testimonials, proving that without a shadow of a doubt, that on June 15th, Joyce Heth will be 160 years old.
Well, she better be, Mr. Lyman. It's taken every cent I have to buy this contract from you. From now on, B.T. Barnum presents Joyce Heth, the oldest woman in the world.
She'll make your fortune, Mr. Barnum. Just remember Philadelphia.
All right, Joyce, you better get to work if you want to eat tonight. Step right up and see her. Joyce Heth, the oldest woman in the world.
When you see the shape the world is in, when the way it is, hey, where's the bottom? It's been, when folks just care for gold, they,
Get it, Joyce. They came by the thousands in Philadelphia.
and walk by the thousands. You've been had, Mr. Barnum. Besides, what's so special about an old lady? Now, young lady, that's different. If you had had me up here 140 years ago, I would have
What
done
did you
that.
just say?
I said, what is so special about an old lady? Oh, watch it, Sonny.
But a special old lady, Joyce.
What you looking at, Mr. Barnum?
I'm looking at a nurse. About 140 years ago, you got this baby bouncing on your knee.
What?
George Washington.
I don't know no people named Washington.
George Washington, the father of our country.
I told you, I don't know any people named Washington.
Joyce, that sidewalk looks a mite hard to sleep on tonight. I'd say there's a chance of rain. Maybe even hail. Washington.
Oh, you mean little Georgie? Well, I practically near raised that boy.
All right, Joyce, now let's get to work.
All right.
Step right up and see her. Joyce Hemp, George Washington's nurse.
When you see the shape the world is in, when the way it is ain't what it's been, when folks just care for gold, thank God I'm old. When you take a gander at the news, when you hear the language people use, when no sweet songs are sung, I don't wanna be
You got him,
young.
Joyce, or just liven it up.
Anytime he doesn't threaten me, should he spy me, that don't upset me. Let him eye me, come and get me, that's fine by me, ain't nowhere in
60
me.
years old.
When you see the way folks misbehave, when it's only good times that they crave, when kids are much too bold, hey, thank God I'm old. When there ain't no heathen left alive, when they tell you 3 men out of 5 ends up locked up or hung, I don't wanna be young.
Do some steps for him, Joyce.
I'm 160 years old, I can't dance.
Rain, hail, maybe a blizzard, Joyce.
I'll dance. Gee. Great. Ow. What did I tell you about the day Georgie discovered America?
It was Christopher Columbus.
I can him too.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, maybe you did.
I told Paul there, shut up.
Quiet.
I put the ball in the ball. Hey, watch yourself, buddy. And I'm craving that. Here I come. Just try to stop me. I'm craving. Hey, I was just before you were born. Whoa. You know, up there. See? Hey. When I see all my friends laid out and cold, thank I put the ram in the ram.
Will you get out?
I'm just saying I did.
Okay, maybe I fooled them a bit. But those folks went home thinking that they shook the hand that held the rosy bottom of the father of this country. And that is a patriotic humbug, and there was none better. Well, now that Joyce was a success, I started signing up newer attractions. And, well, I needed some place to put them.
That's right, Mr. Barnum. I'm looking for a partner to help run the American Museum. But I'm not looking to turn it into no sideshow, mind you.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Scudder. That's why I intend on filling all 5 floors with the most educational attractions imagined, including not 1, not 2, but 3 galleries of art. Lecture hall seating 5,000 people and in the rotunda. Glass tank containing a living, breathing, spouting great white whale from lavender. And to help you make up your mind, may I present to you this courtesy ticket entitling you and a friend to one free admission upon the payment of one-half the regular price, any Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, between the hours of 12 noon and 1 p.m. Is it a deal, Mr. Scott?
Taylor Barnum, did you or did you not have an appointment to take me to lunch at 1 o'clock sharp? It is now past 2:14.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the center ring, P.T. Barnum faces that most ferocious of jungle creatures, the female of the species, who has been kept waiting over 1 hour and 14 minutes. Mr. Barnum will face this dangerous creature. Here, take it.
I probably, oh, you're gonna need it. Look at it. Sure? Damn it, Scuttle, I thought I told you to tell me when it was 1 o'clock. Oh, no excuses. Just run along and I'll catch up with you and the builders at 2:45.
Very well, Mr. Barnum.
Jerry, I don't know why I ever took him on as a partner. He is so forgetful. Perfect example of a marital humbug. Trouble is, with my wife, it never works.
Hogwash, Taylor, I believe you forgot that appointment all by yourself.
See?
Now I have to pick up some pamphlets down at the Women's Emporium, so I thought we might lunch there.
Sure, you can't have lunch in a place like that. But McNally's Oyster House is right around the corner, so I suggest that...
That we leave it up to the fate. An excellent idea, Taylor. Head Women's Emporium, tails McNally's Saloon.
Oh, toss if you don't mind.
Go right ahead, Taylor. I trust you 100%. Taylor Barnum. When a girl meets a man in the middle of the worst thunderstorm of the summer, with bolts of lightning flashing off every tree and barn in sight, and thunder so loud it nearly scares her out of her wits, she don't pay much mind when a man happens to mention that
Cherry, I want to excite people, stir them up, give them a glimpse of the miracle.
Miracle's a pretty fancy word for humbug.
Oh, Cherry, how can you say that? I might put a high polish on the facts sometimes, but Cherry, I have never once taken anybody for one thin dime.
You take them for more than money, Taylor. You get them all wrought up about things that can never be. Like a 160-year-old woman. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't use the imagination the good Lord gave you. But with 2 daughters to bring up, you ought to be using it for more sensible things. Now, I happen to know that Mr. Chauncey Jerome is looking for a partner down at the Clockworks factory. I could be part of it, Taylor. Write the letters, keep the
Oh, but Cherry, I just can't do that. Tick tock every day from 10 to 6, with only an occasional gong to break the monotony of 10,000 little cuckoos looking out of 10,000 little holes. Every man's got a temperament, Mrs. Barnum. Mine's just not suited for tick-tock, cuckoo, and gong.
I'm sorry, Taylor. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Well, of course you should. That's half a wife's job, bringing up the stuff her husband doesn't want to hear. Am I right? Oh, the clockwork factory's just not the right color for me, Cherry. Just say the name, Bridgeport Clockworks. And what do you see? You got gray and brown, and maybe if you're lucky, a dash of beige. But walk inside any sideshow, and you got Kelly green and buttercup yellow and fire engine red, and it's like living inside a giant pinwheel. It's not for my own personal pleasures that I want those colors in my life, Cherry. I want to... wash it out for everybody else in the world to see.
The colors of my life are bountiful and bold. The purple glow of indigo, the gleam of green and blue, the splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, glory of a rainbow. I put 'em all to shame. No quiet browns or grays, I'll dream my days instead and fill them till they overflow with rose and cherry red. And should this sunlit world grow dark one day, the colors of my life will leave a shining light to show the way.
That's all well and good, Mr. Barnum. But those reds and greens aren't going to do you any good if you don't get those builders started.
Good Lord, it's 2:40. Cherry, why don't you wait right here and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Maybe 10. A half hour at the most. Look, Cherry, if I'm not back by 6, why don't you come down to the museum? You can't miss it. It's on the corner of Van Street and Broadway. You'll know it by the sign, the big one, with purple trim and gold letters that says Barnum's American Museum.
The splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, the glory of a rainbow. I put 'em all to shame.
It's your own fault, Charlie Barnum. You only ask a few logical a quiet light to lead him
For children of all ages, a cascade, a cavalcade, a caravan, a cornucopia of cataclysmically comical clowns!
Stop! Jerry, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Nonsense.
We got an opening Monday morning at 9.
We'll be ready.
Do you propose rebuilding an Empire Museum from top to bottom in just 2 days?
I do, my treasure.
But how, my darling?
Slowly. The Lord gave each and every one this boat to do what can't be done. The brawn, the strength, the courage, and the heart. The strength to bend the strongest bar, the will to reach the farthest star. Just to keep from learning how to start. To build a tower up so high to a cloud. Your legs are building one tiny brick at a time. Bumps, mouses lie, turning bumps. Your benders all begun by just one single nut. That everything yielding to you on the bottom. Power, you don't need no magic power, just routine. And shower from the floor to the sky. You can soar if you're wise enough to fly. One brick at a time.
Build a ship that's built to last,
Sailing, fielding, read the list.
and all begins with just a simple run. And open so allowing it
Become the thing you think you need.
to sharpen up your knife and take your time. One stalwart chap with a cup and a bunch of valleys he can scoop all the salt from the sea. Boats open up, turning bows, the bowers all begun by just one rumble beat. To write with these symphonies or this, the time is filled with ships and all we got is sun to far. So long to leave the rest in the dust, leave the rest, leave the dust and take to fly. One breath at a time.
may seem a bit steep, but it was worth it.
Look at what I gave you. Quite a lot of Roman terracotta. And the lava from the flames of Venta. Sanctuary, broad dromedary, see the double and the parenthesis part. McNamara, Bath, Lady, and the ladder for your tears, or got his hair. Thought you were going to be showing you some more doing model of the rest of the Delaware. Armadillos, 11 caterpillars, reductions of cyclops, retina, crystal, wall with automatic sewing, Venus on the shelf, and the works of March. Educated, future pop collaborate to DC, they join across the east, piece made of ice. Popped up and gotten in, forgot spots, got it, didn't have a lot of sun, but I see that twice. 21 to 6, another fauna, got a bit of lady, but when yet now. Dig out, dig it on the back out, run around the block, see, run around the block, see, run around the block, see, now show start.
In one day. Only everybody's going downstairs to see the whale, then upstairs to see the Indian, Joyce Hatch, and the mermaid, then back downstairs to start all over again. Mr. Barnum, nobody's going out. What are we going to do?
Put that sign I had printed up over the back door. To the egress.
To the egress?
Oh, don't get frightened. It's just a fancy word for exit.
But nobody's going to know what it means.
They will when they get outside. Now that was that health and education. Helen in the world will get a fresh back sure when we're at. Educated, please would have without reaching these and everyone across the east. He's made of ice. Hot enough, we've got in, got spots, got together, now we're on a sod. I'm gonna see that twice. Fauna, stakes of a fauna. Got to be in a ladybug wing, yeah, now. When you duck out, shake it on the buck out, run around the black sea, run around the black sea, run around the black sea, no sure start, wee-haw! Mrs. Barnum.
Mr. Barnum.
Now, Cherry, I want you to close your eyes, and I don't want you to open them until I tell you.
Mr. Barnum, Grandmaster of the High Wire, tries for a triple somersault. And falls. Which gets him plenty burned up.
All right? Now,
Good Lord, they're real. What's the man done now?
a foolish thing, Jerry. Married a hard-headed, cold-eyed, tough-talking New England lady. He's kept my life from going up in smoke for the past 14 years. Happy anniversary, darling.
I might have been foolish enough to marry you, Taylor. That doesn't mean I can't count, and our anniversary isn't for 6 months.
Jerry, I'm talking about the museum. Or have you forgotten we opened up our doors to the public exactly 1 year ago today? Now put on your silks and satins, woman, because I intend taking you, me, and those pearls to celebrate tonight at Rector's Restaurant in New York City.
I'm not going to any Rector's restaurant. The food's too rich, the people too fancy, and I don't even want to discuss the prices. I'm staying right here.
Marital humbug number 2. The carrot and club principle. Never fails. Now see here, Mrs. Barnum, I have got the prettiest wife in the state of Connecticut, and it is my God-given right to show her off if I want to. Now, if you do not go upstairs and change into your best dress at once, then certain very costly anniversary gifts may have to be returned. It almost never fails. Cherry Barnum, what am I going to do with you?
Put up with me, Taylor. Same as I do with you.
We're out of step, we disagree. What's right for you is wrong for me. Together we're a part of country home. I like your style. I like your style.
We're out of step, we disagree. What's right for you is wrong for me. When I propose, then you protest. What's my delight? You just detest. Too sweet a fight to ever reconcile. As I like your style. I like your Each blessed day we sweetly fill with know you
With know you
all.
all.
And
And yes, I will.
wonder how we made it down.
How we made it down the
I like your
aisle.
style.
Well, I like your
I
style.
like your style.
I like your style.
I like your style.
I like your style.
All right, Taylor. I'll put on my dress. But it isn't to show off those pearls in front of your fancy New York friends. It's because I'm still in love with you, you great fool. And I want one of your damn marital humbugs to succeed.
Jerry, I have never tried to humbug you. Why, I am shocked at you even suggesting such a thing.
Mr. Barnum! Mr. Barnum!
Oh, not now, Mr. Scudder. Can't you see I'm lying to my wife? The devil are you doing here, Mr. Scudder, huh? Well, out with it. Speak up.
A fire, Mr. Barnum. At the museum.
What?
There's no use going down there. There's nothing left. I'm sorry, Mr. Barnum.
Mr. Scudder, I hope I am being humbugged here.
Sorry, Mr. Barnum. You never taught me how.
All right, Taylor, I'll tell you right now I don't intend dancing any gallops. I've had time to change my petticoat, and it's still the same old muslin one. Since the only dance you know is the waltz, I don't anticipate any problems. Taylor?
It's off, Cherry. No use in celebrating an anniversary of a museum. That's burned down.
But Taylor, what?
Maybe that's a good thing, Cherry. But you were right. It was nothing but a sideshow anyhow.
Taylor Barnum. That museum is absolutely splendid. And I won't listen to anything to the contrary. New York's not the only place to make a living. There's a whole country out there. Why, right here in Bridgeport, you can...
Darn it, Cherry, if you haven't come up with a solution. There is a whole country out there. Here I am piddling my life away at the corner of Ann Street and Broadway, where there's got to be at least 24 states who've never heard of P.T. Barnum. I'll build a new museum and put it on wheels.
I wasn't thinking about any 24 states, Taylor.
Bring a
You see,
little
Mr.
red and
Barnum-
gold to the entire country, Cherry. We could start with a 3-month swing around the East. All I need is a bit of capital and a headline attraction. Of course, because it was your idea.
It was not my
Because
idea.
it was your idea. I'm going to put a top line on every ad, entire tour, under the personal direction of Mr. and Mrs. P.T. Barnum. You are with me in this, aren't you, Cherry?
Well, I'm not sure I'm 100% in accord, Taylor.
Then everything's all right. We're quarreling again.
Excuse me, Mr. Barnum? I hope I'm not interrupting anything,
You are, Mr. Stratton.
but our appointment was for 2 o'clock.
I'm busy now. We'll discuss it first thing Monday morning.
Why don't we forget about it? My wife and I have a few moral qualms about your offer anyway.
Tomorrow morning at 9, then.
Good day, Mr. Barnum.
distraction I was telling you about.
Well, why don't you go on dancing and I'll be back in 2 shakes.
I'll touch it. But now, for a lovely change of pace, a delightfully roll Liberty Small, as P.T. Barnum juggles 3 slippery stratons in the air.
All right, now, Mr. Stratton, what is this about moral qualms?
Let me begin by telling you that my wife and I have the highest regard for you.
I smell a humbug.
But as God is our witness.
A holy humbug, the worst kind.
But to permit you to exploit our son Charles's oddities for such a small sum of money would be an offense to a good Christian conscience.
Now, the key word in that speech is not Christian. It's small, as in sum of money. Now, exactly what do you mean when you refer to oddities, Mrs. Stratton?
Mr. Barnum, any boy 25 inches tall from head to toe is a freak of nature.
Hold on there, Mrs. Stratton. Joyce Heth is 160 years of age. Madame Josepha has a 10-inch beard. And Swan is 8.5 feet tall. That does not make them freaks, Mr. Stratton. That makes them special. What you call an aberration of nature, I call a gift from God to rise them above the rest of the crowd. I'll tell you what. Since Charlie is old enough to make up his own mind, why don't we leave it up to the boy? My show. But I'm not gonna fool you. Tens, thousands, maybe millions of people are gonna come to see you, Charlie. Some to stare, maybe even a few to laugh, but most will cheer and tell their children and grandchildren about how they saw the smallest man in the world. Well, of course, we'll come up with a special name to go along with the miracle of your size. And you can't forget the princely salary to you and your dear family of $15 a week. Well, Charlie, I put it as fairly as I can. Now it's up to you. That's it, thumb. Tom Thumb. Sounds a little skimpy to me. What we need is a handle to go with it. Sir Thomas Thumb. The Right Honorable Tom Thumb. That's not right. Something with a touch of the military. Private Tom Thumb. Never beat up. Second Lieutenant Tom Thumb. First, would you be? I've got it. Oh, what the hell, in for a penny, in for a pound? General Tom Thumb!
Ladies and gentlemen of the great city of Philadelphia, appearing for the first time anywhere, General Tom Thumb! I'm General Thumb, just come to town, a Yankee Doodle dandy. I pet your scrapple, washed it down with just a nip of brandy. The mayor made me presents rare, ladies did salute me. First rate I am, they all declare, and all my poses suit me. My success should open up your eyes. Don't judge nothing just by shape or size. eyes. Lady luck in favor, just a little shaver. 6'3". Bringing any tussle and box to know with muscle. Bet she likes the wet I need. Ladies and gentlemen, General Barnum. That's his handsome. The man of force and Buckingham Palace. Bigger isn't keener, larger isn't bolder, higher might be low inside. When you need to lean upon a friendly shoulder, narrow's just as good as wide. See the mighty lion sitting there crying, bitten by a tiny flea. Never was a fossil, what's he now a fossil? Bet you like the wet I need. But strong in both they lag along in brains and heart. That handsome pulp might be up illusionately, proven consequently. Though he shows his shoulders twice as big as boulders, if the brain's a tiny pea. When you're in a pickle, he ain't worth a nickel. Bet you like him wet I'm. Bet you like him wet I'm.
Nonsense, Taylor. Tom Thumb may be the smallest man in the world, but you certainly have managed to tell some pretty tall tales. He's not a general, and his name's no more Thumb than mine is.
Oh, I call that trimmings, Cherry.
Was Joyce Hethsid's trimmings too, Taylor?
No, that was justice. I took all the years women take off of their own, and
Added it on to her.
Be that as it may, Taylor, if we have to be in the exhibition business, the least we could do is have one respectable attraction.
Now, don't get started on that again, Cherry.
Barnum? Julius Goldsmith. We met last autumn in New York. I caught your show last evening. Absolutely splendid.
Yes, Mr. Goldschmidt. Cherry, you remember my mentioning of Mr. Julius Goldschmidt? He's the one who presented Mr. Booth on his last tour.
Of course. What brings you to Boston, Mr. Goldsmith?
Well, Boston's home to me, Mrs. Barnum. I just stopped over here for a little visit before sailing over to England to sign up that new Swedish girl that's making such a stir over there.
Jenny Lind. I read all about her. 2 command performances for the Queen.
Yes, Lind. Yes, of course. The Indian rubber lady who can tie a knot in her right arm, right?
Well, actually, Mr. Barnum, Jenny Lind's an opera singer. And according to the critics, her voice is the most glorious sound ever heard. But you know what? You'll get a chance to see for yourself when I present our first concert in front of the Castle Garden next fall. Say, what time is it?
Yes, it's 10 past 6.
Well, I should probably get going. That train's due in a quarter of an hour. Mr. Barnum? Mrs. Barnum? A pleasure. I look forward to seeing you both in the fall.
What's the matter, Taylor?
Goldschmidt's a nice fellow. I just don't like to see him lose his shirt.
You don't think he'll be able to sign up, Miss Lind?
That's just it. I'm afraid he will. And no American's gonna fill any hall just to hear an opera singer. Who likes opera?
I'm not so sure you're right, Taylor. You heard what he said. 2 command performances. High time you got yourself an attraction like that.
Now, don't start that again, Cherry, or we'll miss our Chicago train. Besides, I wouldn't know how to begin, Cherry.
It's simple. We toss a coin. Tails we continue as we are. Heads I run the rest of the tour, and you go over to England to make a deal with Miss Lind's agent.
But, Cherry, what would I tell Mr. Goldschmidt?
That you were afraid New York would never buy an opera singer, and you didn't want to see him lose his shirt.
I call that a lie, Cherry.
Well, I call that trimmings, Taylor. Bon voyage, Mr. Barnum.
Mrs. Barnum, this is uncharted territory.
I'm equal to it, Taylor, and so are you.
What would I wasn't too late. I still could have changed my mind, missed the New York train, and followed Cherry west. But I didn't. I made the train, I made the boat, and I made the deal. Now I only had one thing to figure out. Who the hell was Jenny Lind? But it's like that Shakespeare fellow said, what's in a name anyhow? Its title's the public wants. I'll call her the scintillating songbird from Scandinavia. Too long? The songbird who scintillates from Sweden. Ah, I've got it. The singing Swede, huh? You like that one, right? Well, lucky for you, Cherry already had the handbills printed up, so we were stuck with calling her the Swedish Nightingale. You can't win them all.
P.T. Barnum will now present the world-renowned living statues in their first appearance on these blessed shores. Due to the extremely respectable nature of this attraction, Mr. Barnum's promotional campaign will avoid any sensational claims and rely entirely on the plain, unvarnished truth. Jenny Lind does not walk a wire 200 feet above the ground without a net. Jenny Lind does not step into a cage of ferocious Bengal tigers. Jenny Lind does not get shot out of a cannon. Jenny Lind does not eat fire. Jenny Lind does not ride an elephant. And Jenny Lind does not juggle 12 flaming pins at once.
Barnum is then welcoming you on behalf of 1,230,000 citizens to the proud city of New York. Tell me. Tell me. How was your crossing?
But Sigourney,
Please.
I'm not going to learn English.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Lynn. You've got no choice.
Choice?
Choice.
Choice.
That's good.
Good?
Good.
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 No good.
That's it. Good evening.
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 Evening, ladies.
Lettuce.
Not lettuce. Lettuce you eat. Ladies.
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 Ladies. And gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
No. Gentlemen.
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 Gentlemen. That'll have to do. Anything they can't understand will pass off as European style. Oh, and don't forget to smile. There's no thing an American can resist. It's the smile of a beautiful lady. No American man. Well, I've got it going into the house, so good luck.
But Sigourney.
In English.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lynn thanks you for your kind reception of her program and asks if she might sing one last song. A song she performed at her first concert in Sweden and which she dedicates today to a new American friend, Mr. P.T. Barnum. Kathleen Ost, Chief Dash Rata Dida.
Contra
gentlemen asked to escort me to the celebration this evening, and I not know which one to choose.
You choose whoever suits your fancy, dear lady.
Very well. I choose a scholastic person, my English teacher.
Now, my dear lady, I am a confusion.
Taylor, the carriage is waiting.
I'll be right there, Cherry.
The mayor of the city. Also, he has to escort me.
Look, Miss Lynn,
Please hurry. I'd like to freshen up at the hotel for the reception. Oh, well, perhaps some other time.
Cherry, I got me a problem. The receipts, they've got to be counted again. The darn bookkeeper messed it all up. So why don't you go on and take the carriage, and I'll meet up with you later tonight.
This bookkeeping couldn't be done tomorrow, Taylor.
No, it can't.
Very well, then. I'll see you when I see you. You were a great success tonight, Taylor. And I'm very proud of you. Good night, my darling. Good night, Miss Lynn.
Cherry, wait! Miss Lynn, Well, damn it, why shouldn't I take her to the reception? Huh? Hell, it's just for a few hours. All my life, I've been selling the dream to everybody else in the world. Anytime I gotta look at it myself, I'm a man, I got the price of admission. I wanna see what's going on inside the tent.
Staying home, living day by day. Maybe safe, but it can't be duller. Seeing things going black and gray. When the world is alive with color. Doing just as your neighbors do. Maybe wise, but it ain't so clever. Every man has a dream or two. Let him go and they're gone forever. Out there somewhere, just out of sight. There's a world that's blazing with light. Ain't each man alive got the right? Two strangers to fight from the straight and narrow. Shoot through the night like a flaming arrow. Turning back to the highwaymen. Putting down every chance you're given. Takes a risk at life, but friend, how the hell can you call that living? Stay hooked in a pumpkin shell is a bleak and depressing habit. There's a ring on the carousel, and it's yours if you only grab it. Out there somewhere, just down the line, lies a world of glory and shine. 1 square foot, there's gotta be mine. Every man decides once where he stands where the road divides. Once on a hill as the morning grows. Once, if you will, you can see those spires grow. Flags streaming, fires glow, towers gleaming. In the land where the dawn is clear, in the sky where the sun's forever, on a plain where it's spring all year, and the dark of the night comes never. Somewhere out there, just out of sight. In that world that's blazing with light, ain't each man alive got the right? Once in his life to forget the past. Ladies and gentlemen, the latest international sensation, the rarest, most Follow the band wherever it's at. Sure. Let both of your feet beat time on the drum.
Sir, it's nearly 6:10.
The flag in your hand, our plume in your hat, but giant the best. Pass and catch the light. Is there a sight that's sweeter than that? Damn it, Wilson, don't I get one evening off?
Miss Lynn asked me to remind you that the reception starts at 7 o'clock sharp. And since President Fillmore's a stickler for
Whole 6
punctuality-
months of this tour has been nothing but tea with the president, reception for the chief justice, supper for the senator. When the hell do they find time to run the country? I'll tell you, Wilson, I'd give anything just to get away from them all.
You don't mean that, Mr. Bond.
Oh, I do. Old Goldsmith's been after me to buy her contract, and I have a good mind to sell it to him. Oh, it was fine in the beginning when all we had to do was change an opera singer to a Swedish dining wheel, but now all I'm getting out of the bird is money, and it is not enough. My own damn fault. I humbugged myself into thinking I needed all those colors in my life. And she humbugged me. She humbugged me into being respectable. It's a miserable state of affairs, if you ask me. So I might as well be miserable being respectable with someone I love.
But I thought you and Miss Lynn...
Oh, so did I. So did I. And I was wrong. Wilson, why don't you send a wire to Mr. Goldschmidt telling him that I'll meet him in New York City the day after tomorrow. Oh, and another one to Mrs. Barnum. Tell her that if that coin comes up heads, I just might be in Bridgeport the end of next week. Yes, sir. This is a waste of time. I know that, but none of my female of the species humbug seem to pan out. I'm too old a dog not to try. Never heard of such carryings on. And in public, it's a disgrace if you ask me.
Phineas, are you muttering?
Absolutely not. I think muttering's the height of impoliteness.
Then I'll just ignore it.
I don't mutter. I might sputter, but I never mutter. If I got something to say that matters, I'll utter it. I do not mutter. But it's still a damn disgrace if you ask me.
I bet I know what this is about. It's about the way the French ambassador smiled at me last night.
Wrong. What do I care if some weaselly-looking Frenchie smiles at you? The way you smiled at him, one of your number 2 special trembly ones.
Phineas, I'm a soprano and we flirt. The way impresarios mutter. Anyway, but sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander.
What are you talking about?
The letters.
What letters?
Long ones. Daily. Canadians. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, if you were willing to give up these letters, I might be willing to give up my trembly smile.
Jenny, I want you to know I'll never forget you.
It has been a lovely 6 months. Jag önskar allt sex ut ur romansingen. In English, I want for you what you want for yourself.
Well, that's a kind wish, Jenny. Now all I've got to do is figure out what the hell it is I want.
Well, at least we know what it isn't. This game of love amuses. Unless, of course, one loses. Then do you think you'll be leaving?
I suppose tonight's as good a time as any. Jenny, will you be all right?
I think so. I have a dinner engagement with the French ambassador. Wise men and fools.
St. Louis. Sold out 2 months before she ever sets foot in town. Buying a songbird who lays golden eggs, Mr. Goldschmidt.
I know that, Mr. Barnum. In fact, you might say I knew before you did.
Why I'm making you such a generous deal. Only one proviso. If Miss Lynn never plays Bridgeport, don't sell me any seats. Done?
Done.
Don't make such fools of us.
Sherry Barnum, what are you doing here?
It came up head, and I still think you're beautiful. My way this time, Taylor.
Your way.
Out of the main tent, away from the midway, without the benefit of Kelly green, buttercup yellow, or cherry red. The Bridgeport Grand Opera and Pageant Company presents Phineas T. Barnum as even the most respectable light in.
Black and white, the future's rosy, living black and white. Rocks are proud, daydreams spin you round, see things the way they are. Come and live your black stay low and hold on tight, living black and white. May the 7th, 1850, where we 51. Create a day for Bridgeport's favorite son. Living wealthy, plenty, likewise sweet and staking ladies, and a local club where he will ride.
in any forms of name. Taxes have to be increased to help the folks who have the least. And tobacco I would ban as of today. I'm proud to say, hooray for universal suffrage. And that means black and white, as well as he and she. With votes for black and women folks, a raise on tax and a ban on smokes. How could you vote for anyone but me? Black and white, I'm running politics in black and white. Cold shoe left to hard facts. On that trust acts, no bunting in the streets. I talk of budget cuts and balance sheets. Statistic, they are Cherry, I'm losing them. You gotta let me bring the color in this campaign or they're gonna beat me. Cherry, you gotta release me from my promise.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Outside the tent, after the show, behind the scenes, under the makeup.
Wait a minute, Taylor.
What's the matter, dear?
Oh, nothing, Taylor. Just need a minute to rest.
You know what, Cherry? So do I. Why don't we sit down for a spell, huh?
On the steps of the city hall, Taylor? That's illegal.
That'll be my first act as mayor. To get a law passed that all elected officials with beautiful wives, of course, can sit on the steps of City Hall as long as I am in office. A That's on, Mrs. Barnum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barnum.
Quite welcome, Mrs. Barnum. Impressive place, isn't it?
The most respectable building I've ever seen. And it all belongs to you now.
You know, Cherry, standing here staring at you like this reminds me of the time I met you in that thunderstorm, remember? I know you were scared, but I kept hoping there would be more lightning so I could get a look at that face of yours.
And I kept closing my eyes. And I never did get a good look at yours. We were standing at the altar. And by then it was too late. Oh, stop it, Taylor. Folks are going to think we're fools.
Why, Cherry?
Two people standing here in the middle of the night holding hands.
Who says we're old? I am. Some gray hairs and a few laugh lines. Cherry, you don't look a day older than when I took you home in that thunderstorm.
I thought you were through with humbug, Taylor.
22 or 3 at the most. And that's the least humbugging thing I have ever said in my entire life.
You're going to be wonderful in politics, Taylor. But they don't expect you to be mayor for more than one term. I've got my eye on the Senate. And not just the state Senate either, Taylor.
Cherry, you're talking about Washington?
Ted said you can do it, Taylor.
Oh, Cherry, deciding to run for the U.S. Senate's not something you toss a coin on. It takes considering, contemplating, pondering. And how come in 25 years of tossing, that coin has never once come up tails?
Maybe the fates are just on my side, Taylor. That and the fact that this quarter just happens to have 2 heads.
Stack the deck, Cherry? Look at this, 2 heads.
I haven't been watching you for 25 years for nothing, Taylor.
All right, Mrs. Barnum, I'll run for your damn Senate because I love you. And I would do anything in this world to make you happy. If you will humbug me good and proper, and I am most displeased, young lady. Why are you smiling?
Everything's going to be all right, Taylor. We're quarreling again. The colors of my life are softer than a breeze.
Beautiful and bold, the purple glow of
The silver gray of
the gleam of green and gold,
the dapple green of green,
the splendor of a sun,
the amber of a wheat field,
dazzle of a
the kingdom of a sea,
glory of a rain.
the crystal of a rainbow.
I'd put 'em all to shame.
For all I'll ever need.
Quiet brown so gray.
Your reds are much too bold.
My days instead.
Gold I find no worth.
Will they all
I'll fill my days with sage and
rose and
brown.
cherry red?
Colors of the earth.
And if from by my side my love should roam,
The colors of my life shine a quiet light to lead him
Cherry? Cherry? Cherry!
On behalf of the party, Mr. Barnum, may I say how sorry we truly are.
standing right beside me. Just when we're right on the threshold. No, I don't want you boys to worry. During this campaign, I'm going to be stronger than ever. I worked a long time for the senatorial nomination, and it's an election I don't plan to lose.
Mr. Barnum, afraid there's been a slight postponement in your nomination.
Postponement? What are you talking about?
What Mr. Templeton's trying to say is the party's position's changed. We've given the nomination to Alexander Whitaker.
What are you talking about? For the past 6 months, I have been barnstorming on the strength of your promise. Your promise, gentlemen, that I would have that nomination.
It's ahead of our hands, Mr. Barnum. What about in 4 years? Be a prime candidate.
4 years? I don't want the nomination in 4 years. Don't you see? I promised someone I'd be in Washington the end of next January. If I cannot be there then I don't want to be there at all. Good day, gentlemen.
Mr. Barnum.
I said get out! They took me, Jerry! 6 months of making speeches, and they take me with a lie worse than any humbug I ever pulled in 35 years of fooling people. Thought I got it out of my life, but I guess wrong again. Because it looks like if I don't humbug them, they're gonna do worse to me, Jerry, to me! Jerry, tell the truth, is humbug so bad after all? Look at the Rubens who came over on the Mayflower. They were humbugged with the dream of finding some kind of utopia, and that turned out pretty good. And Tom Jefferson and Ben Franklin back in '76, they humbugged with a dream of making a whole society of free and equal people. And that dream was strong enough to win awards. Worse than not, comparing four-headed frogs and live mermaids to the Declaration of Independence. But somewhere way down deep there has got to be a connection, Jerry. Look at that. Up here on the soapbox for 2 minutes, and I've already convinced myself I'm first cousins with Thomas Jefferson. But Donna, Jerry, don't that prove it? I hope I get on the best there is. Nice show, if you please.
Bilge and Dutch and double Dutch and flim flam. I am the king of hogwash. Tommy Rot, different hocus pocus, gavel, scam,
And sham, and just a touch of white.
fly am I. Duke of Fright and idle chat, Earl of Foyle, Lord of Platt, Emperor of Rigmarole, that I am, bless my soul, the Prince of Humbug, Poppycock, Piffle, Waffle, Patter, Jump, Book of Wheat, Shatterbug, Wile, and Guile, and Trumpery, that's me.
Oh, don't worry, Jerry. I'm not thinking of going back into the menagerie business. What I was thinking of was a lecture tour. Tell the entire country about the noble art of humbug. After all, who's got a better right to talk it than me? It's the thing God gave me the gifts for. That's how I got everything I ever had. Even you.
In the world of sing and shock, this moment we spin down a road of bridge and rock, for Lord knows what end, through a night as cold as space and dark as the sea,
Someone's gotta make it right. Shoot a rocket, shine a light. Tell you who that someone's gonna be. The Prince of Humbug. But tongue in cheek, shilly shally, the wolf, Barney bogus, fucking wolf, hoax, and prank, and hanky pank, and some skullduggery. I am, and damn, I'll always be. Yeah!
Preparing the race, the greatest contest of them all. P.T. Barnum, alone, unarmed, without a net, in his struggle to the finish with destiny. Bailey's the name, Mr. Barnum. James A. Bailey, and I'm here about my 3:30 appointment.
Sorry, Mr. Bailey, I've given the matter a great deal of thought, and I'm afraid the answer is no.
No. But Mr. Barnum, I sent you those plans and photographs last week. Didn't you get a chance to see them?
I saw the photographs. Your menagerie doesn't look too bad, but listen, Bailey, I've been out of the business for years. I'm not thinking of going back into it now. But if you wouldn't mind a bit of advice,
Well, I'd welcome some.
you gotta hook your attractions to the mood of the country, Bailey. It's 1880, and with Grant in the White House, we're expanding our boundaries. Your show looks good, but it's too small. You need 10 elephants, 20 clowns, bareback riders, fat ladies, acrobats, jugglers, 6 on the high line.
Mr. Barnum, that is impossible. You could never get all those acts into one ring.
Put a couple of more rings on either side. Have a band of 40 pieces and an extra 10 for sideshows. Get traveling grandstands that you could put up and take down to see 5,000 people. And a special train with 2 locomotives and 60 cars. And enough canvas that you can put the entire Crystal Palace inside. And still have enough room left over to fly a kite.
The Crystal Palace. Oh, now, wait a minute, Mr. Barnum. I hope I'm not being humbugged.
Mr. Bailey, whatever gave you that idea?
Well, I must admit, it does sound good the way you tell it.
Yes.
But you've got to help me.
That is simply out of the question.
I need you. The circus needs you.
No!
When the pillar doctor gave you 'twas your cold to the grip. When a stitch to save 9 others comes apart with a rip. When the rats invade your attic and start leaving your ship. Follow my tip, come away on a trip. Just join the circus like you wanted to when you were a kid. Climb aboard, speed for it moves on, and you'll thank your lucky stars. Go to bed in Minneapolis, wake up in PA. Pack your roll, your brush and your comb again, ready to roam again, ready to stray. Bless my soul, I'll never go home again when the circus comes your way.
That lady's dancing on a wire 1,000,000 miles up there. That string of picnic cards down Railroad Avenue. Circus, circus, two picnics for sale going to circus, circus. From Maine to Kokomo with a Mr. Barnum sleigh you'll go with.
All right, damn it, why do we leave it up to the fate? Heads is yes, tails is no, right? Mr. Bailey, you got yourself a partner for the biggest show in the country. The greatest show on earth.
When the circus comes away. Climbed aboard before it moved on, and you bet your life I'm glad I did. Went to bed in Minneapolis, woke up in PA. And I got my pleasure went home again, ready to roam again, show me the way. Let's fly so I'll never go home again. From the day I joined the circus, you have to say I joined the circus.
In the center ring, the princely final trap, Mr. Phineas Taylor Barnum himself.
Voice passes. Long, gone, forgotten. So was the American Museum and the Living Whale. Jenny Lind. My poor, poor Tom Thumb. And them Rubens who came over on the Mayflower. They gone to dust. Tom Jefferson's memory. Old Franklin's flown last night. So my kind of humbug has disappeared. Pity. There was a sucker born every minute. Each time that second hand swept to the top like dandelions. Up they pop, their ears so big, their eyes so wide, and though I bet 'em bona fide baloney, with no truth in it, why you can bet I'll find some room to buy my corn. They were sure as shooting suckers for in a minute, and I'm referring to the
minute I was born.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the cast of Barnum as the ringmaster, Jeffrey Dubner. And also the extraordinary talents of Daniel Sylvia, Kyle Thomas, Jen Clancy, and Joe Reddy. Rebecca Martin, Allison Burns, Beth Carswell, Laura Campus, Gina Paley, Sarah Ellsworth, and Leslie Kenton. Jeffrey Sachs, Jared Eisenman, Michelle Flaherty, Simone Geberend, Becky Rollins, and Laura Finn. Our dancers, Casey Craig, Stephanie Bader, Jill Gardner, and Ingrid Roderick. Our juggling genius, Brad Sullivan. Our spoilers, Rosalind Nayart, Olga Radenko, Jessica Gemmel, Anthony Giliopoulos, and Emily Kovalet. Our gymnasts, Emily Hogan, Jessica Hill, and Pamela Stone. Our strongmen, Raj Akhtar, Sean Scanlon, Alex Jordan, and Robert Williams Mazzini Jr. As they was better, the illustrious Andrew Manoni. Our choreographers, Amish Shah, Melissa Bader, and Angela Silhouette.